Hey guys, this is another arcader here, and I'm coming to you today with another game called Pac-Man Double Feature. It's for the Atari, or the PAC Atari 2600 Plus, and it's an exclusive launch title with it. It's available separately. It was available separately earlier this year, but this is the one that came with my system. A little bit background about me. I grew up in the arcades. I grew up in the late 80s. So the 7800 is kind of from my era. Kinda. But I grew up in the arcades. I played Pac-Man. I played all kinds of arcade games. So I'm familiar with a lot of stuff. But I'm not that familiar with the Atari. So just bear with me on that. I know there's some people that they're very familiar with the Atari, and I am not really. I'm learning new things about it. Like, for example, I learned what the difficulty switch does. It's a little bit of a different setup from the original 2600 because the 2600 has 3 switches, and I'll show you a picture a little bit later. But this one has 2 switches on each side. So there's a power, there's a TV type, there's a game select, game reset. So, and then the difficulty switches would be right after the TV type and right after the game reset, if I remember correctly, at least from the picture that I have from my Lego one. So, Pac-Man. I don't really need to go into too much detail about that. I'm wearing my nice festive Pac-Man shirt, Pac-Man hat. We all know what Pac-Man is. I'd be very surprised if there was anybody that didn't know what Pac-Man was. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my 7800 controller here. Reminds me so much of the NES controller. I kind of, my first video game system that I played was the NES. And I used to go over to my cousin's every summer, and we would go ahead and play the NES, so I grew up on that kind of stuff. My first video game system that I owned, besides the LCD stuff that my father had around the house, was Super Nintendo. But, that was the 90s. So I'm screwing on a little piece right here. You could probably see it. It's the ColecoVision. This is one of my favorites. There's a guy, and I'm going to give a link down below. There's a guy on Etsy who does these little expansions for the controllers. So you can see they got different toppers, different kind of feels, that kind of stuff. This is one of my favorite ones. Basically allows me to slide my finger around. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. I love playing random mazes on this. I played so much Pac-Man in my lifetime. I think Pac-Man is one of the games that I played so much in my lifetime that I don't really need to be playing the same maze over and over. So I turn on random mazes. To me, that's the definitive edition. It just gives me a completely random maze every single time. This fills in the space. And I've got another game called the Pac-Man Collection, which just uses pre-programmed mazes, like from Ms. Pac-Man or something like that. So these are completely original mazes. These are not mazes reused from another game, as far as I know. Ah! Shoot. I died. Alright, Pac-Man, munch. Go, go, go. Yeah, go this way. Go. Go, 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 go. Yes. Good job. Wahoo. So, finally got my Camp Snap CS8. I really love playing with retro stuff, and I know that there's a lot of enthusiasts out there that are kind of dealing with, that are kind of specializing in retro stuff, There's a lot of love for it out there. Ah, come on, that was unfair. Jeez. Well, let's see. I had Super Nintendo. I was familiar with NES, Super Nintendo, um, and um, I think I had that for a while. So, and I always went to arcades and I found all kinds of stuff. So I played like Battletoads, beat 'em up in arcades. I played Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, all kinds of stuff. Go. Ah! For all my hours that I played with Pac-Man, I'm not exactly the best at it. And I mean, there's a book out there called Mastering Pac-Man from the 80s. You know, these ghosts, they move in patterns. And I think, this is just my opinion, since I can't see the patterns, I think it throws that book out the window, really. Because now the maze is different, you know. Memorizing their patterns really isn't going to help you all that much. Nice. All 4 of them. Shoot. Out of the way. Come on. So I grew up with Dig Dug, seen Mr. Do in the arcades. Well, there's not an easy way to get up there. Just gotta avoid the ghosts. Go. Ah! That sucks. Alright, let's take a break, guys. Be right back. Hey guys, I'm here playing my Atari watch and really failing at it too. Something that you can strap to your wrist and you can just play around with. Isn't that cool? Come on now, little centipede. You've got Centipede, you've got Missile Command, you've got Pong, Super Breakout. Missile Command operates via touch. So all you gotta do is just aim and click. Pretty simple. So this is a little stand that I have here for the watch. It goes ahead and holds its magnetic thing there, so you can hold your thing on it, and you can charge it up in the same thing. I thought that was pretty cool when I saw it online on Etsy. There's going to be a link below. Anyways, a really quick review of the watch. Mostly, the watch has all these different phases and that kind of stuff. Mostly I do exercising at the gym, lifting weights over my head, that kind of stuff. And I am right-handed. So I got to put the watch on my left hand to play, like most people are right-handed, unfortunately. So when I put those weights over my head, the back of my hand presses against that big knob there, or that spinner. And if it presses against it too long, the watch, resets, basically. I'll show you. And that's what it does. And so it's kind of annoying to be checking your watch to check your pulse rate. So if you want to use it for, if you want to be using it for walking, it's perfect. But if you want to be doing it for actual, gym work, stuff like lifting weights, I would really recommend something else. But, walking around, it's perfect. It's perfect for a game break. Hey guys, welcome back. I just activated the secret mode here. So what does the secret mode do? Well, it allows me to switch from the arcade to the home version for Pac-Man 2600. And I could play on random mazes with this as well, too. Because, again, you know, the same mazes over and over get a little old. So... And I like playing it this way as well, too. I never really appreciated this one too much. Again, it was before my time. I know there's a lot of... It's been labeled as the fan favorite, but I think it's because everybody had a copy of this because it was the first to market. That's my opinion. First to market. Pac-Man, after it was, you know, arcade hit. So... And really, honestly, I think that because it was such an arcade hit, and it was, you know, it got into everybody's homes this way, you know, through here. Ah, I hate that hitbox. Go around, go up, go down. Just keep on coming for you. There we go. Yeah, so it was in the arcades. Oh, that was really dumb. It was in the arcades, and I think everybody that played it in the arcades, oh, I want to have the home version. This was the home version. This was like the first home version. So everybody that had Pac-Man Fever from the arcades, this is what was available at the time. I mean, I learned to appreciate it, especially with the random maze mode, because again, you know, mazes kind of get a little bit tiring. Same maze over and over and over again, you know? But you can tell. I mean, there's a lot of people that, oh, well, this is not the best looking. You know, this is not the best. Still, you got to respect the guy who created this because it was his own code and he was trying to replicate as closely as possible. Oh dear, I'm trapped now. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, go away. Get away from me! Oh, that was just so close. Gotta try to outthink them a little bit. There we go, final dot. And, like I said, it just remains my opinion, but I think that was just what was available at the time. Aw, come on. It just turned back. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that's it. It was what was available at the time, so, gonna knock myself off here. Put in some another arcader. And so as it came, you know, as it continued on, the Atari 50 collection has a good amount of Pac-Man. Not only this one, but the 5200 version. They're not making the 7800 one, the one that I played a little bit earlier, available on it. I don't know if they will. Something about somebody wanted to have a ROM of it so that they could play on their emulators and that kind of stuff. Somebody's gonna dump it eventually, I'm sure. You know, again, I wasn't in the 80s. All this stuff is just conjecture in my opinion, you know. Atari itself, unfortunately, was a product of some unfair opinions. It's not like the programmers were bad people, you know. That was close. Almost died there. I mean, they worked hard. And the video game industry was just starting out. And, you know, there really was no playbook. you know, to the level of quality that people expected. People had nothing to compare it to except the arcade versions, really, you know. And yeah, this kind of looks like it's a little weird, but there's a lot of people that used to play quite a bit of it. There's some videos of some of the people that, like, oh, I would run home and play it with my friend. Ah, that was cheap. There we go. But, you know, on future videos, we'll be exploring Pac-Man's legacy a little bit. Not right now. We'll be exploring some arcade games and some other stuff that I have. Not everything's going to be Atari. I've got Nintendo Switch. I've got all kinds of stuff. So just keep on looking out for that stuff. Looking at those videos. Like and subscribe. Gonna keep on dropping those retrovisions or those nostalgia vision videos that I do here in the breaks and that kind of stuff. Little clippets and snidbits. Tidbits, not snidbits. But still, you know. Go this way. Oopsie. Don't want to do that. There we go. Ah, come on. Alrighty. I think that's going to be it for me today, guys.